Angles describe shapes of triangles. If you give me an angle, let's call it theta, you can draw a right triangle like this, or you could draw a right triangle like this, or you could draw a right triangle like that. There are lots of right triangles you could draw, and they all have the same shape. What that means is that the ratio of sides is the same. No matter how big or small the triangle is, if I define this side to be A, and this to be C, and this to be C, like that, then the ratio A over B, A over C, B over A, and so on, those are functions of the angle, and we give them names. We say that the sine of theta is B over C. The cosine of theta is A over C. The tangent of theta is B over A. The cotangent of theta is A over B. The secant of theta is C over A. And the cosecant of theta is C over B. Okay, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. But there's a mnemonic for all of this. The mnemonic is soh-cah-toa. See, A is called the adjacent side. So we'll remember it as A in the mnemonic. B is the opposite side. And C is the hypotenuse. So soh-cah-toa is sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Well, that's B over C. Cosine, the C, is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And that's A over C. And tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So that's B over A. Okay, so those are the definitions of the angles. Now, another way to see what the sine and the cosine mean is to think about the unit circle. So if we draw the unit circle here, so we think of a triangle with a hypotenuse of 1, then this side will be cosine theta, and this side will be sine theta, and so the coordinates of this point will be cosine theta, sine theta. And that's how we define the trig functions for angles that are not between 0 and 90 degrees. Between 0 and 90, we can write down a triangle and take opposite over hypotenuse or whatever. But if you want to know what the sine or the cosine of a bigger angle is, of this angle, well, let's call this big angle here phi. Then the coordinates of this point are going to be cosine phi comma sine phi. Cosine phi will be negative. It's the left of the origin. Sine phi will be positive. So those are the 6 basic trig functions. So the cosine and the sine tell you where you are around the circle. Tangent is always sine over cosine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. Secant is 1 over cosine. And cosecant is 1 over sine. Now, one last big deal about these things is, let's go back to the right triangle. So here we have an angle theta. Here we have an angle phi. We have A, B, and C. If you want to know what is sine of phi, that's the side that's opposite phi divided by the hypotenuse. But that's cosine of theta. If you want to know the cosine of phi, that's the thing that's adjacent to phi divided by the hypotenuse. But that's sine of theta. In general, the cosine or cosecant or cotangent of phi is the sine or the tangent or the secant of theta. The co stands for complementary. Theta and phi are complementary angles, so the co-function of phi is the function of theta.